we're going to talk a little bit about sharpening. Chris Hammock was on a few weeks ago, and he uses a burk system to keep his tools sharp. But not everybody has a burk system, and so we talked a little bit about maybe a diamond stone or sandpaper or something like that. I wonder if anybody would want to chime in and maybe give some tips or ideas on how you can keep your tools sharp, especially if you're a beginner and you're not really sure how to get a good sharp edge or work up a wire edge on a knife or something like that. Would anybody like to talk about sharpening and what your process is to keep your tools in tip-top shape so that the next time you're ready to carve, you're ready to go? So anybody like to talk a little bit about sharpening?
Blake, can I jump in there for a second?
Absolutely, go right ahead.
So I come from a wood turning background, and I don't have a burk system. So what I actually done is made a timber faceplate and mounted a piece of leather onto that and run the lathe at 6,000 RPM to finish the edge on my knives. And I find it works very well. I know not everybody's going to go out and spend a couple of €1,000 on a lathe. A burk system might be cheaper, but it was just something that I done. Used what I had in the workshop to sharpen the knives.
Nice, thanks, Nick. And I'll give another pitch for our meetings. These are International Association meetings, and Nick is always on here. And again, if you want to tell the group where you're from, Nick.
Ireland.
There you go, from Ireland. So yeah. Thanks for joining us every opportunity you get.
As much as it is nice to watch the recordings on YouTube, it's always nicer to be here live.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Anybody else want to chime in as far as what you do with sharpening?
Just a quick, my 2 cents on that. Please learn to do it by hand before you go to power. Get a feel for it. Get to learn what that steel's doing and what you're looking for in that edge. And you're only going to get that by going by hand. It doesn't take long with power to wreck a tool to the point where you just learn to do it by hand first. I'm sure everybody's got a kitchen drawer full of knives that they can practice on, or go to the gas station and buy a couple of them $2 pocket knives if you're worried about wrecking your wood carving tool. And just get a feel for, because you can tell when you're on that stone, you can feel when that steel is, when it's cutting right and when it's not cutting right. And that's just my 2 cents there.
And John, you and I have talked about sharpening. You use a 600 diamond stone, 600 grit diamond stone. Is that correct?
Yeah, most of the time. And that's only because I don't want to spend all day on a finer one. I want to get it down there. And then I'm going to, after I get it with that 600, I'm going to strop it till it's a mirror finish again.
So really with a small investment, you're able to get your tools back to right. About factory.
And you know, just because one guy uses diamond doesn't mean that's the end all. And there's the sandpaper method, and I mean, every method out there has its ups and downs. Just find what works for you and learn to do it good. Just like it's no different than your carving. So the earlier question on muscle memory, it's really no different. You're not going to learn it until you do it, and build that muscle memory. But take the time. I guess one thing that, at work, I check mine once in a while. At work, we have one of them lighted magnifying glasses where you can hold stuff underneath it. It's about 10 inch in diameter. I've been thinking about getting one at home because they are wonderful for checking the edge on your tool. You'll see stuff with that lighted magnifying glass that you won't with the regular magnifying glass or glasses or cheaters or whatnot. And they're pretty inexpensive. Because the smallest nick or burr in there will translate, and that's the crack in the dam. If there's going to be a tool failure, it's going to follow from that along. But I guess, like I said, that's my 2 cents.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. I just was watching something about the sandpaper method and ordered the sandpaper that's like 1,200, 2,000, 5,000, 7,000, that type of thing. And right. I've been carving for over 20 years, and this is the easiest way, the wet dry sandpaper. I've sanded, I sharpened a tool, a knife, an old knife the other day that I had tried to sharpen forever and it worked.